all of us who do this work should feel very comfortable looking at employers and asking these questions. Have you made your business a better place to work? Because without that, there's nothing I can do to make you more competitive in the marketplace. Tough questions, but I want to have these folks talk to us about the lessons they learned.
I'd like to maybe pick two, just to keep it narrow. One, to kind of go back to the housing situation. Are we a great company to work for? So we started looking at the situation in Asheville and said, how can we help with this? We have two programs in place now. One is called a Bridge program, where an employee can apply through our local version of Consumer Credit Counseling Service. It's called On Track. And if they're approved there, the company will subsidize their income from between $50 and $600 a month for up to 3 years. But they have to, and that would go towards deferring their rental, what they're paying for rent, what they're paying for home ownership, or what they're paying for childcare or transportation, any of those big things, but primarily housing. In agreement, they have to work with On Track to kind of get their budget in order, to determine whether are they in the right kind of house, can they afford long-term to stay where they are, and over that period of time, perhaps get them into something that's safe and beautiful that they can afford. So that's the Bridge program that the company is subsidizing. In addition to that, and very similar to a program that Thomas Ann runs at Mission, we have the Passport to Property. And that's where, again, with On Track, we want to have this third-party financial partner, so we're not involved in that. But the Passport to Property is set up so that the company matches the employee's savings for their down payment on purchasing their primary home. So those are some of the things that we're putting out there to be that place people want to work for, particularly in Asheville with the housing environment that we have. The second thing, are we a company that people want to work for, is we think at Biltmore about careers as a jungle gym instead of a ladder. So, and I'm a good example of that. After teaching in the public school system and graduate school, I started at Biltmore as a waitress, and I played over here for a while. And then I climbed around on the jungle gym and played over at the winery for a while, and then at Biltmore House. And so that employees can, through counseling and with my HR department, design career ladders that are more like jungle gyms, that they're fun, they're engaging, it addresses that gig economy. The idea of, well, I just want to do this for a little while and then I want to go do that. Well, that's fine. Just stay at Biltmore.
Love both of those. Thomas Ann, you want to share your story as well? By the way, I do want to comment the idea of engaging our staff and teaching financial literacy is so powerful. That's, in the end of the day, probably more important than the $50 or $600 a month, which is a temporary kind of assistance. But the gift you have given people who didn't maybe have the benefit of learning financial literacy is a lifelong gift and will last wherever they are. So thanks for that. Thomas Ann.
In summary, a lot of the things that Ann said, we are really pushing for retention of our current employees and initiatives that retain who we have. It is so challenging to get a new hire. We can't afford to lose them back into the small talent pool. And because it is so competitive, we have to make ourselves differentiated, that even if you are an entry-level employee, you see a future there and that you want to stay and grow and develop. So we put a lot of money, resources, time, and effort into growing our own. We have workshops called Grow with Mission, and we also have our analogy of the lily pad. You lily pad around a mission into different areas. So we really incentivize new hires to come in, and we allow them or give them tuition reimbursement from day one to go to accredited programs for 2-year programs, 4-year programs, or just certification programs. We have our own career exploration center that we started 3 years ago for one-on-one career counseling for our employees to help them grow and develop within the system. We're hoping that through employee scholarships, through student loan or student loan assistance or tuition reimbursement access, and help them connect with student loans in the areas that they're interested, or scholarships, just helping them connect with resources. We hope that they see us as an employer that is with them for the long haul, and that we can't afford to lose them. So a lot of what we've worked on is to help retain the employee.